Yo, what's good and what's hood, yo? It's your boy Nisho here, and today we got more traps shown for Battles of Legends, Light's Revenge, and honestly, I think some good reprints. Anti-spell fragrance, they just made it more accessible, and with them just releasing Pendulum Evolution, I think it's honestly a nice balance that they release a card that pretty much is a one-card answer to Pendulums, and honestly, I don't think it's that strong anymore because we do have Imperial Order, so a lot of people moved on from Anti-Spell Fragrance. But if you ever feel the need to side it, it doesn't absolutely kill decks, but it does give you an advantage since you got to use your spell cards first turn, but your opponent doesn't, or, you know, in the situation where you kind of clear their board and then you hit them with the Spell Fragrance and they can't set up as quickly as they'll be able to. And next, we have a different Dimension Ground, and this is actually the one I wanted to talk about because different Dimension Ground is pretty much like a Macrocosmos for a turn. So, you know, the turn that you activate it, any monster sent to the graveyard expansion set. Any monster or any card? No, any monster. Unfortunately, it's not like any card, but any monster is still a big deal. There are still a lot of decks that focus on sending their monsters in the graveyard or having their monsters in the graveyard. Like, imagine a deck like DDDs where they combo so much using their graveyard, but you know, you hit them with this first turn, like they activate their Swirl Slime in hand, and you chain a different Dimension Ground. All of a sudden, they're stuck because they just lost most of their plays. They can't really mill their Lamia. They can't bring back certain things with like Alexander. You know, it kind of just stops them for the turn. And sometimes, you know, against certain decks like deities, you know, the first turn may be real essential because they have combo potential. But there are other decks where, you know, like True Dracos or Zoo, where the graveyard won't really matter as much first turn and it may not hit them as hard. But those two decks are kind of like meta decks right now. And this card does stop Pendulum as well, because Pendulum will actually be banished if this card is up as well. So it could stop a few Pendulum strategies if they're focused around getting monsters face up to the extra deck. And honestly, I think it's a nice decision for Konami to reprint this card. Now, right before Link format, I did see a lot of people in the OCG citing this card out, or citing this card in, you know, like they had it in their side deck. And I think because of its constant use, I think Konami really looked at it and said, oh, you know, this actually might not be a bad card to reprint. It really only had like one print, and I think it was in Star Strike Blast, so it would have been a little hard to get. I may be wrong about the exact set, but I know it's probably only had like one or two prints, like at the most. So it's nice that we see it again. It's a pretty amazing card, and it's probably going to see a lot of competitive use in the future going into the Link format, since that's kind of how it is in the OCG. It may just flop here in America, but I do think just giving us the card again, just so we can have it and have it be more accessible and have the option to use it, I think is a good idea on Konami's part. And Artifact Sanctum, I think this card was long overdue for a reprint in something that wasn't like the Megaton, because honestly, I think I've never been a fan of artifacts, but I do think they do have some real potential. And honestly, like they may not be as strong as they used to be. Like non-targeting destruction is still a big deal. I mean, anything that doesn't target and destroys or removes from the field is still a big deal, because no matter, it's kind of like a situation where it feels like no matter what the person does, like they're gonna lose something anyway, unless they literally stop the effect that's gonna remove a card from the field. So this with I forgot his name already, Morotak, is actually, you know, it's pretty strong. And yeah, I mean, if it's destroyed by his opponent card effect, you get to pop a card as well. So it's kind of like a double plus. You know, if you activate it, you pop a card. If it gets destroyed, you pop a card. Is it targeted? Yeah, unfortunately, if it gets popped, you have to target a card. But you know, honestly, still getting to destroy a card for your card getting destroyed, like if it gets Twin Twisted, if people still use that over Cosmic Cyclone, then you know, you get to pop a card they control, if they even control anything. But Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't see it as a big deal. I just think, oh, it was overdue for a reprint, so I think it's nice. You know, whatever. Different Dimension Ground is kind of the big one out of the three. Anti-spell is more of like just in case, and just in case you want to side it. And Artifact Sanctum is just, I feel like it's real niche. It's not really for everybody. Only a certain real group of people will probably use it. But yeah, I just think it's Konami is doing real good on this set. I mean, honestly, this is looking to be one of the best sets like ever. But like from the rarities to the reprints to the content of what is actually going to be in the set, I think this is going to be one of my favorite sets ever. And I think a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players will probably feel the same way. Well, maybe not their favorite, but it definitely could be like up there, you know. So this was Nistro here. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, if you have any thoughts or opinions, just leave them in the comments. I don't really care if you like or subscribe. It doesn't get me ad revenue, honestly. Ad revenue is only based on two things: ad watches, watch time. Well, watch time is kind of what would get you more popular. Like watch time and like how many people watch in a certain period. You know. But yeah, honestly, if you watch an ad, that's really all that gets you money. But watch time, like if you watch my video all the way to the end, it gets me a little more famous. But anyway, yeah, that's really all for now. I'm not gonna ramble on. This was Nistro here. Nistro out.